audience the joys of paradise. Actually, that is only the background to this video, which is the one I was actually researching. However, that chap was such a star, I had to give him his own show. But now we're getting back to the main event, and it's a film by someone called Pierre Rehov. I don't know anything more about him other than that he made this film, which is called Palestinian Jihad. Why do they do it? And if you watch all these clips, you'll probably get a pretty good idea. So let's start with this guy.
أو مجرد ما إني تطيح لي الفرصة داخل الخط الأخضر في مدنيين، سواء في بيت، في منزل، لو في غرفة وكان فيها أطفال، حفجر نفسي.
A little later he says
على أي طفل إسرائيلي ولا
nursery full of kids. So there's no doubt about his commitment there. Also, no doubt about the reward he expects for such a deed.
يعني أولادي معايا، زوجتي معايا، أبويا وأمي وأخواتي وكل أصحابي إن شاء الله، كل ما أقدر إن شاء الله، 70 يعني.
As for the women, those virgins in paradise appear to be a pretty effective draw even for them. Let's have a look.
حلو تكون الشهادة اللي بشعرش في أي إشي لما هو حتى يفجر نفسه أو حتى إنه يطلقوا عليه رصاص أو إشي، بالعكس بتكون بشعر بسعادة كتير، يعني حلو بصير يتمنى إنه يرجع كمان مرة ويحاربهم عشان يرجع كمان مرة يستشهد.
Although they're a bit more confused about what actually awaits them.
وصفنا الجنة في سورة الرحمن، سورة اسمها الرحمن، ووصفها بعمقها. بعدين أنا بكون زي ما سمعتوا في 72 حور في الجنة، أنا بكون أجمل الحور، بكون من الحور.
Well, one suggests that she will become one of the virgins and prettier than all the rest. Since she has a serious case of spots, I can relate to her fantasies, although I must say that when I went through my own spotty phase, my first thought was not to kill myself, but to go to a dermatologist and demand that he do something about it. This was the NHS, remember, and spots are not considered serious in the NHS, so I had a bit of a tussle on my hands to get the treatment. However, I managed it finally, and without actually threatening to blow anyone up. Maybe I'd used the wrong technique. Anyway, let's hope she'd be more ethereal than she is now, because this guy has a pretty poor opinion of her in her current incarnation.
بالنسبة لحور العين هناك يعني استفاض الحديث بالنسبة لحور العين كما ورد في القرآن الكريم أو في السنة النبوية. الحور العين طبعا هؤلاء مخلوقات.
You wonder why they long so much for this stuff, and I can understand it in the case of a kid like this. Now, I feel really sorry for this boy.
لأنه ضحى من شان وطنه، قاعد بالسجن من شان شعبه ومن شان وطنه. طبعا راح الناس يحبوه وراح يقولوا عنه بطل، والشهداء والصحابة وحور العين، وبعطيني حور العين، يعني بعطيني حسنات كتير، أنهار من عسل.
He's an ugly bugger as well, I'm afraid. And even this one. I feel sorry for them because
يعني لما نحط الحزام علي راسي ارتفع الحمد لله وفيش أي تردد للخوف يعني.
You can see both of these poor chaps have what we teachers might call educational difficulties. But this fellow here seems to be of normal intelligence, more or less. And this one,
أطلع على جسمه إني أشوف مثلا الحياة مثلا الأخرى أو ما إلى ذلك.
It's got to be more than that, hasn't it? Well, first of all, we have
يعني
this.
بدي الآخرة عند الله عز وجل.
نحن طلقنا الدنيا بالثلاثة.
And this.
لنا أوصاف كثيرة عن الجنة.
And this.
لا موت فيها.
I could tell you something about that. A little while ago, I read a news report about an Arab couple, a boy and a girl, a couple of teenagers. They tried to ram their car into an Israeli military checkpoint. I don't know about the boy, but the girl survived, so they found out why they'd done it. It turned out that the two of them had been fooling about, and they thought the best way to clear their sins and after their behaviour, the only way to get into paradise was to commit an act of martyrdom. So, the current Muslim response to the problem of life dealing you a dud hand is to kill a Jew so you can reboot in the next world, just so you know. Western Christians, even religious ones, may say they believe in heaven and may sort of mostly believe in it, but in practice, not really. There's always this doubt. Because if you did believe so strongly in heaven as a certainty, you'd be looking for ways to put an end to yourself, wouldn't you? To get there all the sooner. But look, I've never been to Estonia. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know anything about the language, except that it's in the Finno-Ugaritic group, which means it will be incomprehensible to almost everyone in the world. But I know that Estonia exists. And I know that if someone gave me a plane ticket to Estonia, in the normal course of events, I wouldn't just get on the plane and disappear into thin air. I would land in Tallinn airport and get a taxi or a bus into town, and I'd walk about the streets, eat the local food, and do whatever there is to do in Estonia. Well, that's how these guys feel about paradise. It has as much reality to them as Estonia has to me. And then there's the other thing.
انه احنا بس مش بس ان احنا بنقاتل الاحتلال اللي هو مثلا بيقاتلنا في احنا هنا إلنا هدف بالحياه انه نشر الاسلام يعني كل انسان.
Some say that Islam has an inferiority complex because deep down Muslims have always known that their religion is a sort of bastard child of Judaism and Christianity, and therefore it has to validate itself by making everyone Muslim. But, well, look, Mormonism started out with roots just as ridiculous, cooked up by a con man who wanted to justify his wish to have more than one wife and who spoke about golden tablets which he could never produce and made up names of angels that are obviously not from any Hebrew root, ever. But that's not the point. Mormonism is evolving beyond its dodgy origins, and in general, I haven't heard of any Mormons giving people the choice of donning the scratchy underwear or having their throats cut. Damn, there goes my Mormon audience. But I digress. I shall finish with this absolute gem from a man who, well, actually, we can see the sort of man he is. Here he is sending another sheep to his death.
أبارك لك أخي أبو عدي أن تمت موافقة اللجنة عليك أن تكون استشهادي بعد أن قدمت طلبا أكثر من عام لك أكثر من عام، وقد جاءت الموافقة من إخواننا على أن تكون استشهادي. هنيئا لك أخي، هنيئا لك.
الحمد لله أن
هنيئا
اختارني
لك.
الله سبحانه وتعالى.
سلم لي على حبيب محمد رسول الله في الجنة.
اللهم
وقتلاهم في النار. الله سبحانه وتعالى يعني أعد الجنة لعباده المؤمنين، ولكن طريق الجهاد هي أقرب طريق لنا، ولكن أقرب طريقة لنا نحصل بها على حور العين.
You have to admire his selflessness, don't you? Sending someone else instead of going himself. Anyway, I shall leave the best to the last, and then I'll go and answer the door.